It's Carter Sports back. And today we head out to the land of Troy to talk about this rush edge position that we got brewing on campus. So let's go. And if you been here before, can you please hit that like? Please. And if you ain't subscribed, boy, you better subscribe.
Disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Trojan family, what y'all doing today, man? You know what's been on my mind? It's the edge rush position. Now I know Jamal Muhammad, we probably gonna pencil him in. He started at the rush edge position last year. You know, he did pretty good. He had 6.5 sacks. I mean, that ain't bad. He had more than what he had coming from the lower level. Before he left Georgia, his last year at Georgia State, he had 2 sacks. He came to AC and had 6.5. So I think that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Even though I feel like it's interesting how D'Anton Lynn and the staff look at him. Because me personally, 6'1", 250, to me, that's scream linebacker. Like traditional linebacker. They got him playing edge, which is kind of like a linebacker hybrid position. But I think Jamal Muhammad, he had 24 tackles, something like that, 24, 25 tackles last year, 29 something, right? I think at the traditional linebacker position, I think Jamal Muhammad will be a person who will rack up 80, 90 tackles. Just because his speed, I see his ability. I think you ain't using this full package if you just got him this rushing the quarterback every play, or just trying to hold the edge on the defensive line. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I noticed about D'Anton Lynn, sometimes he play 2 rush edges. So that's why I'm really thinking about it, because if we look at film last year, experience and production, just off of that, like Jamal Muhammad probably start, or at least pencil him in and be in the rotation. But D'Anton Lynn, when I did the D'Anton Lynn defensive scheme breakdown, if y'all ain't seen that video, go watch that video. He like to bring out 2 rush edges sometimes. He had 2 big tackles in the middle of the defense, and he had 2 rush edges in on the package with it. So you might see a formation with Jamal Muhammad and another rush edge out there. So who next up behind Muhammad to be in that rotation, either to be on the field with him, or to be one of the players that keep them fresh and everybody stay fresh and rotating? Is it Brayen Shelby? Right? You know, Brayen Shelby was a phenom coming out of Texas. All the major schools wanted Brayen Shelby. You know, he came out like 6'5", 240 already, something like that. 250, like a beast. Right now, I think he up like 265, 270. Brayen Shelby like 6'5", 270 right now. So he a monster. That to me, that's a real prototype edge. Somebody that's 6'4", 6'5", 260. To me, if I got a rush edge, I would want him to probably be around 6'4", 6'5". Long with strength and speed. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gotta be too overpowering, but strong enough to hold the edge and fast enough to get around the edge. You know what I'm saying? So playing the edge position, you ain't necessarily gotta blow up the run play. You ain't necessarily gotta reset the line of scrimmage and destroy the tackle, but you want to be able to hold the edge though. You may not get that push in the run game going against a elite tackle, but you got to be strong enough to hold the edge. So if the running back bounce outside, you got contained. You know, you didn't get washed in the block. And he got that ability in that size, 6'5", he could get up to 270, 280, and still have speed. So, but I want him at his optimal speed. So I say by like 6'5", 265, 270 will be a good weight for him. And that's what it look like he's sitting at. I know last time I checked, he was weighing 260, 265. So I'm just projecting he probably come into the season at 270, 275. So you got him, he a freak athlete. He flashed last year. He even ended up getting 2 sacks last year. Brayen Shelby, he got 2 sacks last year. And then another player I'm thinking about is Anthony Lucas. Now, I'm very interested to see what this defensive staff, how they look at Anthony Lucas. I think Anthony Lucas is best with his hand in the dirt. You know, a down lineman. In high school, he played with his hand in the dirt, down lineman, defensive end, defensive tackle, whatever, you know, on the high school level. When they like that, they could play anywhere in the line, wherever the coach need them. And sometimes when you got great defensive ends in high school, the other high school would just run completely opposite of him. So sometimes the coaches will put a projected defensive end on a college level, on high school level, put them in at nose tackle or defensive tackle, so it'd be harder for the other school to run from him. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to do that in high school. Then his first year at Texas A&M, he was playing with his hand in his dirt, hand in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Down lineman. But Alex Grinch so focused on what he was on, whatever he was on. You start seeing this kid as a rush edge. I mean, they had him lose weight. I remember he came out of high school at like 265, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere around there. Then I remember at A&M, he was listed on the depth chart at like 280, 285 before he left A&M. Then he come to SC, they want to drop him down to 255, like 260, like dropping his weight. I feel like Anthony Lucas got that frame. He need to be defensive end, Reggie Wright type, Justin Tuck, like Bruce Smith, like the kid. He got that classic DN frame. So I don't know why they looked at him, the previous coaching staff, and said, let's slim you up and make you a rush edge. Like, you gonna make a player a rush edge that already has elite speed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you dropping a player weight just for him to be faster, then that ain't his strength. If a player fast, he fast. So I could see if he already had them attributes. But when I watch Anthony Lucas film, it was more of strength and short area quickness, or you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a speed rusher. Like when I watch his film, I didn't see speed. I see a player who had potential to dominate the strength game, to dominate the hand combat, to dominate the leverage. You know what I'm saying? Initial burst and get off type player, right? Initial burst. I don't see why they looked at him and said, oh, he's supposed to be a rush edge. Like he displayed elite speed at the high school level. Like that was part of his game. You know what I'm saying? You got to make stuff simple. Like if we coaching basketball and the player, a 3-point shooter, he's Steph Curry, I ain't gonna make him go in the post. I ain't gonna try to put him in the post. You know what I'm saying? Or if this player was a slower footed player, I'm not gonna put him in position to where he got to be a faster footed player. And I'm trying to change his body type. No, I gotta develop towards the strength. So this kid was 6'5", 265, coming out of high school. That's strength. You 6'5". You could add 30 pounds and still have that same agility, you know, meaning you could add that 30 pounds and carry that well, not lose too much speed, whether you was fast or not. You got the body, you got the length, you could add that all muscle and be exceptional. You know what I'm saying? A player that you probably want to optimize his speed is the next player that's probably up for the rush edge position, which is Sam Green. It's another interesting observation, right? Sam Green is only 6 foot. Remember coming out of high school, he was 6 foot, 260, but explosive. He had great initial burst, get off quickness, and enough strength to maintain that advantage once he got it, right? So he come to SC, And I could see why, even though I don't think it was great coaching, I just think because Grinch is on speed D, I could see why somebody like Sam Green, who was playing defensive tackle in high school and a little bit of end, but when I watched his film, he was playing mostly defensive tackle. I could see kicking him out as an edge because when you watch his film, you was like, oh, okay, explosive. He's so fast on the get off, like he too fast. And then he's short for a defensive a tackle at only 6 foot, but it helps because he got leverage and speed. So even though a player might be bigger and even stronger than him, his speed and his leverage, he's able to win. So I could see kicking him out and making Sam Green a rush edge because speed was a part of his package. Speed was why he was causing wreck in high school, right? So I'm interested to see how the coaching staff gonna look at Anthony Lucas and Sam Green. They gonna look at Sam Green, you know, Coach Henny, Coach Aaron Donald, who kind of on the short side too. He's 6'2". I think Kobe Turner was only like 6'1". I think he was a rookie of the year. So they might look at Sam Green at 6 foot and be like, we gonna slide you back in the tackle. We could work with that. Add some more pounds on you. Cause like I said, they had Kobe Turner playing in the NFL at 281 and he was able to do what he do. So they might feel like it ain't just all about the weight, it's the ability. Okay, you ain't that big, but hey, this is what you do got. Sam Green, you got leverage and speed. So they might kick Sam Green out of the rush edge position, kick him back inside, and they might take Anthony Lucas and make him a defensive end. You know what I'm saying? If that's what I'll probably do, but I would have Sam Green as defensive end and D tackle. But I wouldn't even have Sam Green at rush edge, even though he got that speed. Teams is prepped and prepared for rush edges who got speed. They kind of be built to deal with that, right? And that takes away his advantage at speed. So I move Sam Green on the inside, even though you may feel he undersized. He ain't undersized like Stanley was. Stanley was playing at like what, 250. You know what I'm saying? Green already came out of high school at least like at 260. I know he like at 280. So his undersized ain't like Stanley undersized. So you might want to throw him on the inside because at least he got a speed advantage. Just put him next to a beast. Put him next to Bear, 300-pound D tackle. Put him next to Isaiah Rakes, you know what I'm saying, 340-pound defensive tackle, and let him use his speed. And Anthony Lucas, I want to see his hand in the dirt. So it's interesting to see. Is Anthony Lucas and Sam Green gonna stay at rush edge? Is Cameron Fountain, the true freshman, right? Is he gonna break in there? Because he's a beast too. Like his highlight film look like he's a man amongst boys. But is Cameron Fountain gonna play with his hand in the ground? Because when I look at Cameron Fountain film, he is quick. I ain't gonna lie, he quick. He got a good get off, but he got so much power now. Is the power because he just already grown man strength playing high school level, or do he just got that power throughout his career? He gonna be stronger than 95% of the offensive linemen he playing. I don't know, but at the high school level, it looks like he's too strong. Like they can't do nothing with his strength. They can't do nothing with his speed either, but it seemed like they got a little bit better chance against his speed, but against his power, I feel like he really wrecking shop. And he already 6'5". I think he's 6 grown. I think Cameron Fountain 6'6" now. So he's getting the type of frame and body. He could weigh 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He could be overpowering, like what you want him to be. Do you want somebody overwhelming with speed? Do you want to make him overwhelming with speed? Because he do got to get off. But I don't think he's the fastest ever, right? But he got that potential. His strength seems amazing. His speed seems very good, but his strength to me, from what I seen, seemed amazing. Just his hand game too. He could just swim and throw players out the way. He ain't losing too many hand battles. You get what I'm saying? So it gonna be interesting. Like I like players who play with their hand in the dirt for some reason, and I like the rush edges too. But if a player is strong, I think I'll put Cam Fountain hand in the dirt. But I know D'Anton Lynn and Coach Henny know better than me. I trust them with whatever decision they make. But it's interesting. I'm interested for myself to see how they look at football, because how I'm looking at it, y'all listen to me. I think Jamal Muhammad should be more of a linebacker. I feel like this Jamal Muhammad is such a baller. He could play the rush edge and get 6.5 sacks. But I think he a type of player to have 100 tackles at linebacker. But what do I know? Brayen Shelby, I think he's the prototypical rush edge. Yeah, put him right there. That's Brayen Shelby. Anthony Lucas, I feel like his hand need to go in the dirt. Sam Green, I feel like his hand need to go in the dirt too. Cam Fountain, I don't know. Cam Fountain, he would be both. Cam Fountain will be probably what they trying to make Anthony Lucas, or gonna try to make Anthony Lucas be, is a versatile. Like, you could put your hand in the dirt and stand up. But I don't want to see Anthony Lucas in rush edge and at the rush edge more than he playing defensive end. At best, I'll give it 50-50. But at least 50% of his snaps, I need even more. Now I'll take that back. At least like 65% of his snaps, I would want to see his hand in the dirt. That's why I think Lucas belongs. So what y'all thinking? Am I wilding by thinking Brayen Shelby is the prototypical rush edge that we need, but Jamal Muhammad, with his production, and I feel like he's just such a baller, he could play that position and ball for us, so we could put him there. But I would love to see him at linebacker. To me, I just feel like he's a traditional linebacker. I don't know. I feel like that's what I feel like. But I like him at the rush edge too. Am I tripping when I say Anthony Lucas' hand should be in the dirt? And Sam Green. So tell me what y'all think, man. I would have sitting back here thinking y'all about the rush edge position. And I want to know what y'all think, because it got my mind going crazy. So many possibilities, so much player versatility at that position. Every player that I look at that we could throw at rush edge, Jamal Muhammad, Sam Green, Cameron Fountain, all these dudes, Brayen Shelby, all these dudes, man, it's like they all, Anthony Lucas, they all versatile. They all, you can see them playing either at a different position or excelling at this position. So, man, what y'all think, man? Who gonna be the top 2 rush edges on this team to get the most rotation, the most snaps, or who should be? Who y'all think should be? So until then, it's Carter Sports, it's USC, it's Trojan City. So let's go.